Welcome back, everyone, to the Lead with Love podcast with Dr. Q. Y'all, this is take 15, but you didn't really need to know that. And I'm so glad y'all are here. We're back in the studio. And this podcast is where we talk about love, leadership, and real life lessons that actually matter. And in this episode, we're going to talk about something good when joy is absent. We're almost done with joy, y'all. If you are here right now, please know that it is not by accident. It is not by chance. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. So, without further ado, let's jump into this episode. I'm excited. I have the privilege and the honor of coaching, mentoring, and supporting some phenomenal leaders. And I'm going to tell you a story about a principal that I coach, and I'm going to call her Sarah. And when she got promoted 3 years ago, Sarah was on fire. Do you hear me? She had vision, energy, ideas. She smiled constantly, and her staff absolutely adored her. But somewhere along the way, something changed. Life happened and the budget cuts came. The testing changed. The state changed testing requirements. Her enrollment plummeted. A beloved teacher got sick and then one passed away. Then her own mother's health began to decline. And the last time I saw Sarah, she looked like a shell of herself. She had dark circles under her eyes. She wasn't smiling. She was just kind of moving through the building like a ghost. And when I asked her, Sarah, how are you? She said something that absolutely broke my heart. She said, I don't even remember what it feels like to be happy anymore, Dr. Q. We can sometimes forget that we are humans that lead, and we have to take our superhero capes off. And if that's you right now, if you're listening to these podcasts about joy, these episodes about joy, and you're thinking, I don't have any more joy left, then this episode is for you. Get ready. Because today we're going to talk about what happens when joy is absent, how to recognize the warning signs in yourself and in your organization, and most importantly, how to restore what's been lost. Because here's the truth. You can get it back. Joy is not gone forever. It's just buried under all the layers of stress and disappointment and exhaustion. And we're going to talk about how to dig it out today. Okay. So let's first start with discussing some of the warning signs when joy is dying. In my research for the book, Lead with Love, I asked over 1,000 people to describe leaders who didn't lead with love, and the pattern was heartbreaking. It showed that the absence of joy in leaders created toxic environments. And here first, before I share what they said, are some warning signs in you that joy is dying. Few things. One, you dread going to work, even on the good days. On Fridays, you don't want to go. You're irritable with people that you used to enjoy. You can't remember the last time that you actually laughed. You're exhausted. No matter how much sleep you get, you feel nothing when good things happen. You're on autopilot, just kind of surviving. Or you've stopped caring about things that used to matter to you. How do you know it's dying in your organization? Well, the hallways are silent, no laughter, no energy. People avoid making eye contact. The staff meetings are like funerals and nobody even volunteers to do anything anymore. Oh, but this is another one. Your complaints and your grievances, they increase while gratitude completely disappears. Your best people, they start looking for exits out of the organization. The culture feels heavy, like everyone's just kind of enduring. One of my survey respondents said, I had a leader who would always say no to my new ideas. They were mean. I felt like they were unqualified and not happy with themselves. The entire office felt like we were walking on eggshells. Another one of the respondents said, my manager didn't lead with love. The environment was toxic, and I eventually left a job that I loved because of a leader that I couldn't stand. People don't leave jobs. People don't leave hard work. They leave people. And the absence of joy doesn't just affect you, it literally infects everyone around you. So, why does joy die? And what are some of the joy killers? Joy doesn't usually die from one catastrophic event. It dies from like 1,000 small cuts. Here's what kills joy in leaders. One, chronic stress without recovery, operating in crisis mode constantly with no time to just breathe and reset or to even celebrate. Your nervous system is like stuck in fight or flight. Two, isolation. You carry everything by yourself. You don't ask for help. You don't share your struggles. And you believe that showing vulnerability is actually weakness. Three, unprocessed grief and disappointment. Y'all, this is a big one. You may have lost someone, a program failed, you didn't get the promotion, but you never dealt with it. And you just kept on pushing through. And that unprocessed pain begins to steal your joy. 4, misalignment with your values. You're doing things that violate the core of who you are. You're like compromising your integrity for a paycheck. And every single day, that misalignment drains you and it drains your joy. Number 5, you lack a lack of purpose. You lost sight of why you do this work. It's just a task now, check boxes. And you can't even remember the last time that you actually felt like you were doing something that matters to you or other people. Does this sound familiar? Well, guess what? You're not broken, okay? You're just human. And you're operating in conditions that make joy impossible. So, all is not lost. What is the path back to joy? Well, here's the good news. Y'all, you got to know that joy can be restored. And I know this because my joy had to be restored. And I've watched hundreds of leaders do it too. But restoration requires honesty, intentionality, and grace. And here's how it works. Step 1. I hope y'all got your pen and paper. You've got to name the truth. You cannot fix what you will not be acknowledge and be honest about. You got to stop pretending. Back in the day, say stop perpetrating. Stop pretending you're fine and pushing through. Stop saying, oh, I'm good, when you're actually not. Say it out loud. I've lost my joy. I'm burnt out. I'm not okay. And it's okay not to be okay. This isn't weakness. This is actually the beginning of healing. Step 2, get help. Call a friend. Call me. Find a coach. Talk to a therapist. I do leadership therapy. Tell your supervisor, somebody, I'm struggling and I need some support. You need to be heard. I remember when my grandmother died, I tried to push through and it was my team that saved me. They led when I couldn't lead myself, but they could only do that because I was honest about my struggle. You don't have to do this alone. In fact, the truth is you can't do this alone. Step 3, return to your personal joy practice. Remember the meditation from episode 3? If you missed it, go back and check it out. Stop. Breathe. Look at God. Be intentional. Smile. Feel the energy of joy. You can just start there, even if it feels impossible, even if you actually can't feel anything at first. Just do the practice and your body remembers joy. It remembers everything, even when your mind has completely forgotten it. Step 4, remove or reduce joy killers. Y'all, please, what is stealing your joy? Is it a toxic relationship, a man or woman that needs to go? Is it a schedule that doesn't have margin? Is it a role that violates your values? You may not be able to eliminate everything immediately, but you got to start making small changes. Say no to one thing, delegate one responsibility, set one boundary. You deserve to be protected. Every small step towards health, it matters, okay? Step 5, reconnect with what energizes you. What used to bring you joy? Music, nature, laughter with friends, time with your kids, creating something with your hands. What? Whatever it is, schedule it. Put it on your calendar like it's a meeting, because it is a meeting. You know who it's a meeting with? Yourself. It's a meeting with you. And it's non-negotiable. Do not negotiate yourself. Step 6, celebrate small wins. You don't need to fix everything to feel joy again, okay? Start noticing like the real small things, like the sunrise. It's beautiful. A kind word from a colleague, or a student's breakthrough, or your favorite coffee or ice cream. Start small. Joy isn't always big and loud. Sometimes it's quiet and small, but it's there. You just have to look for it. Now that your joy is restored, how do you restore the joy in your organization? And if your organization has lost its joy, the pathway back is actually very similar, right? 1, you're going to acknowledge reality, call a staff meeting. And as a leader, you got to say, I noticed that our culture has changed and we've lost some joy, and I take full responsibility. And I want us to get it back. I want us to work together. Next, ask and listen. Survey your team and what would bring them more joy to their work. And then listen and act on what they tell you. Then start small. You can't fix everything at once, y'all. I keep saying this because it's true. Implement one joy practice this week. Music in the hallways, a gratitude board, ending a meeting 10 minutes early so people can go breathe. You will be a superstar. People will smile for that. And then model what you need. If you want your team to experience joy, then they need to see you experiencing joy. Go back to episode 3. Practice the FEM model: facilitation, incorporation, and motivation, and lead the way. Let me tell you what ended up happening to Sarah, okay? She was my girl. After our conversation, after we talked, she took a week off, and I low-key had to threaten her to take this time. It was her first time in 3 years taking off. And when she came back, she told her staff the truth. You have to be vulnerable. She said, I've been running on empty. I lost my joy, and I know that it's affected you, and I'm sorry, and I'm working on it. Yes, now that's leadership. And when she started making small changes, she did morning gratitude practice. She put music in the hallways. She started celebration rituals with her staff at her staff meetings, and she delegated responsibilities that she'd been hoarding that had been weighing on her. It didn't happen overnight. Oh, but slowly the culture began to shift and people started smiling again. And I enjoyed being there. And she started smiling again because the joy came back. And if you've lost your joy, hear me. It is not gone forever. It's just waiting for you to make space for it again. Before I give you all this week's challenge, I want to remind you that my book is out. Please go get it. Lead with Love, 8 Heart-Centered Strategies for Exceptional Leadership is available now on Amazon, and the Audible is coming soon. I'm so excited. I'm excited because this year what I'm going to do with this book is this podcast is going to actually take you all through the entire book, every single strategy, every single framework, every tool that you need to transform your leadership. Leadership makes the difference, y'all. And we're on this journey together. And the book gives you kind of a deeper dive, and the research and the reflection questions and everything is a full roadmap to how you can become a better leader. So if you don't have your copy yet, go to Amazon today and grab it. We're building something very powerful here, and I don't want you to miss out on a single step. All right. So your challenge this week. Now, this week, I want you to complete step 1. Name what's true. Write it down. Say it out loud. Tell someone that you trust and just say, hey, I've lost my joy and I want it back. I want it back. That's where restoration begins. Next week, we are going to actually move to the You in Just Care, Undo Your Tie. And we're going to be talking about leading from your humanity, showing up as a whole person, and why vulnerability is your greatest strength. Brene Brown says, no vulnerability, no connection. Thank you all for having the courage to do this very hard work we call leadership. And thank you for joining me on the Lead with Love podcast. If today's message spoke to you, please share it, because there's a leader in your life who needs to hear that it's okay not to be okay and that joy can be restored. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss any episodes. And if you're feeling generous, leave me a comment or a review. And remember, y'all, leading with love isn't just it's not a one-time decision. It's a daily choice, even on the days where we may think that joy is impossible. Until next time, be well and lead with love.